Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC, and we are back at our follow-up service call for an emergency repair. I found a leak in this LG multi-V system on my last visit, and I'm going to attempt an emergency repair. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. I'm back the following morning from my previous video. We found a system with a CH42 and CH43 error code indicating an issue with our low pressure or high pressure sensor. As you can see, I got the system, the gauges on the system. We have no gas, but I did find a leak in my previous visit. I have to drop the whole control panel, and today I am back with my nitro tank, my acetylene, and we're gonna attempt to fix this leak, and it's a difficult one. During my last visit, I pressurized the system with nitrogen, and I found a leak all the way back here. Can't see it too well. Let me see if I can point to it. Right back there, there's like a little solenoid valve. And it's leaking from the valve. What makes this difficult is that it's not at where the copper connections are, where it's typically brazed. The leak is coming from the valve itself, and it's right now Saturday morning. Nobody's gonna answer for parts until Monday, and it's through email. And if you know anything about LG, you're gonna know that we have only one distributor that we can go through, and we're waiting literally on thermostats already over 30 days. So they're gonna have this solenoid valve? I doubt it. So we're gonna try to patch this up and get this going. I tested the compressor. We used the mega meter. Came out good. The insulation seems fine. Also, I used continuity and resistance on my regular meter. Everything turned out. Nothing is grounded. If anything, the low pressure or high pressure switch opened and saved this compressor. So we're gonna try to do what we can. The problem is it's on the brass. We got a leak by the brass. So this is not a regular brazing rods. This is Silverloy 560. It's a flux corded. You can see the brazing rod is orange. You only get 8 rods here. Wow, but you see 56% AG. This is 56% silver, and I've used this only one time where I had to bond copper and steel on a compressor. So between copper and brass, you're gonna want something like this. Regular brazing rods are probably gonna fall right off. So what you gotta do, you need a flux where you want to braze, and you need to use a high percentage in silver. Some people use 15. I don't think it's gonna work. The best bet is to try something like this, and this is just in hopes of emergency repair, or this customer is gonna be in big trouble because this one condensing unit serves 9 hotel rooms. The place is completely booked, and those people have no air conditioning. Today is going to be 85 degrees in lovely New York City, the city of broken dreams. First things first, there's oil, you guys can see, all over here, including on wiring and everything. This thing exploded, and if you can tell, it's a bunch of oil on the bottom. We really gotta clean that up. That's just not gonna evaporate like that. Also, my main thing is just cleaning up the area where I'm gonna braze. So if I light that torch and there's oil everywhere, well, guess what? This place is gonna go on fire. I showed in the last video, we come out that door, then we gotta walk up all these stairs just to get to all these units. It is a whole mess. But if we look here, see that stain? It's like yellowish. That's all oil. I actually smelled it when I was coming up here. I'm like, I recognize that smell. I mentioned how refrigerant is colorless and odorless, refrigerant, 410A specifically. But I know that smell, and there's oil everywhere, man. I got gloves, rags, and napkins. We're gonna keep it simple, and we're just gonna soak up whatever we can for now. Let's clean this area up. I clean up this area as best as possible, and definitely back there. It's even hard to see it through the camera. There's so many wires in the way, but pretty much this solenoid right here is leaking the valve itself. So if anything, you see the little black part, that's the coil. I am going to remove that. There's a couple Phillips screws on there, get that out of the way with the wire, try to dry it down a little bit, and heat it up and try to patch that thing up. Honestly, it's so tight in here, but pretty much I see some screws, one on top and two on each side. So let's just try to remove the coil, because you're gonna heat that up and you're gonna fry it. So loosen that up, take out the screws, and do what we can. There's two on each side of it, I noticed, and this thing should lift right off. Actually, it looks like just the top needs to come off. One screw on top, the other can stay. Let's get that out of the way. And that's what it looks like. It's just a coil, right? So you have two screws here, two screws there, but I guess that just holds the bracket. You take off the top screw, this whole thing pulls out. Let's try to dry this. I still have a little bit of oil residue here, and let's try to clean that up and see what we can do. All right, guys, it is so hard to see anything, but I'm going to show you. It looks like it's right on this edge. The copper pipe actually partially broke off. Using a little mirror here, can barely even see this thing. I believe that's what it is, something so small, but we lost the whole charge because of that. So it's where the copper goes into the brass, so we probably need a good bond. It's not where it's brazed at, and let's see what we can do. I have some abrasive cloth, so what I want to do is I ripped off a piece and quickly sand down that area to make sure it's good. These rods are, like I showed you guys, are 56% solder, excuse me, silver, and they are coated with that orange stuff. That's actually flux. You could try to use flux and then use a 15% rod when bonding copper and brass. Use something maybe like this, right? Silver brazing flux, that will work too for that capillary action. But you know, I don't think that's going to work here. The best thing to do, this I think is going to make the best bond. So anyways, let's sand down that area, have that prepped. And I got my nitro tank here with this piece right here, and this is to braze with nitro. So this is a great attachment. So you got your regulator for the nitro tank, and you got this regulator here. You adjust it on this little valve knob here, and you collect your middle hose. Also, what I'm going to be, so I have the high side connected here, and what I did is I took out the Schrader valve from this low side here. So while we're running nitro through, it's going to escape from there. You don't want to build up that pressure, and we're going to braze like that. Let's sand it down. Let's get started and hope for the best. The only thing with these rods is that you can't really bend them. When you do, you lose that coating of flux. So it's going to be hard to get in there with this piece, and we'll do our best, because it's honestly a tight space, and there's a million wires. Look at this. Oh gosh. All right, let's crack this off the back seat, right, or open, whatever you want to call it. High side. Let's open up the tank. Okay, let's open through here. Let's first purge. Yeah, there's a little needle bowl valve there. Oh, I don't know if you could hear it, but I got air coming out, excuse me, nitrogen coming from there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust this ball valve. Let me take off the camera so you can see. Look inside here. Look at the orange ball. See that? Let's just get it a little bit off the floor. Between here, orange, it's that's where you braze. So you just want a little bit. If it's too much, it's actually not going to let you go. So you just want it a little bit. If you can see, it's just slightly above, and that should do it. All right, I got my small tip. Looks like a 3/8 to 1/4 inch line on the 1/4 inch side actually, and we'll try to get it. And I hate when I can't curve my brazing rods. You want a small flame and very concentrated. All right, let's see what we can do. This is a dangerous spot if you could even see anything. I got a portion of it. Let's see. Might need to go just all around. To be honest with you, it looks like I got that crack. Hopefully it's sealed, but I think we need to go around the whole thing. Let's try one more time to go around the whole thing and give this thing a shot. You want that flux on the end. I'm just gonna cut that off and try to get in. I don't even know where. It's a little crazy. Hopefully we don't melt that solenoid valve. It's very difficult. I don't even know where to get my rod. Maybe through here and just try it. And we'll see. Once it starts to melt, we're ready to hit the other side. And hopefully it just melts around. It flows like solder, not really like braze. Very like smooth. Very awkward positioning. Whew, hopefully I got it. Okay, so I don't think you can see in the video if I'm looking at it. If you adjust the copper, then I think I got it. I got this all around and it went through smoothly, real smooth. Hopefully we didn't create any other leaks on the way because the other side started melting. They cool off a little bit, then we'll check with nitrogen. Charging up the high side right now. Low side is slightly coming up. I hope that was the only thing because that's the only thing I've seen. It's on the valve. I don't know, we might not have luck. It's right now, this is the best we can do. Let's just spray that area. It's steaming because it's just hot. Hopefully no leaks. All right, I got this thing sprayed up. Try to get the camera in here, tangled up. I don't hear any noise like we heard before. I remember before, I'll show a video so you guys can see again. I don't see any bubbles. I don't hear anything. I think we fixed it. That would be absolutely amazing. I think we got it, guys. Oh wow, that's what I'm talking about. I think we got it. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, but we got the same pressure as we had yesterday, and it made a world of a difference. I hope this worked. Oh my god, if it did, coming out like heroes tonight. Closing up, putting back that solenoid valve, and I'm dumping out the nitro hose. Looks like we're good to go with this leak. I switched up my gauges as well. I got these ports on here where I can add a micron gauge. Got some gas, some 410A, got another tank, and also got my vacuum pump. Cleaning this up a little bit and getting this started up. All right, guys, I got everything back. Did a bunch of cleaning, got rid of tanks. Anyways, we are going to set this system in vacuum mode. Got the vacuum hooked up, nitro's all gone. I made a separate video on this, so if you want this in more detail, you'll be good to go. You can either start it, there's some dip switches here. There's 7 of them. You're gonna click up 5, push it up. Let's turn the power on. And we gotta have a blinking light here. We're gonna wanna put this in service mode and then function 3. And what that is gonna indicate vacuum mode. There's a bunch of solenoids and EEVs, and you want everything to open up so you can vacuum out the entire line. This thing lost its entire charge. So it's loading up. It's probably gonna say, I think FUNC or FUN, and that's gonna be for function. And then we're gonna set it. This little red button is like a OK button. SW01C. Got a left arrow, which is SW02C, right arrow SW03C, and then there's an X right here, which is, I guess, a cancel button, SW04C. So right now we see some letters going through there, just going through some startups. It's normal right there, function. So we're gonna click, let me see, the right arrow, FDD, all right there, SUC. Click the red button, okay. SE1. Let's go to 3. Kind of try to press this hard and hit it. Press OK. And you see it says VACC. So now we're in vacuum mode. Heard a bunch of clicks. And like this, you're actually going to be vacuuming the entire line. And if you don't pull a good vacuum, you're going to get acid in your system. And you saw that I was brazing with nitrogen. When you don't braze with nitrogen, you're gonna get a lot of carbon buildup, and all these little valves and everything is so sensitive here, they're all gonna get clogged up. So you gotta do the right thing whenever you're working on these things. You really shouldn't take any shortcuts. I turned on my vacuum pump, connected to my middle hose, and I opened or cracked off the back seat, both the low side valve and the right side valve, all right? Let's give this thing a chance right here. On this gauge, they're kind of messed up, but you can already see on the low side, we're already below 0 PSIG. We're reading in HG, which is inches in mercury vacuum. At 30 inches, we are in a perfect vacuum, but then for a more micro type of measurement, like something smaller and a smaller scale, you want to read microns, and that we're going to use a digital micron gauge. In all honesty, I run overnight vacuums whenever I like change compressors or anything like that, just because there's so much piping. I feel like it just needs it. But because of the situation, because we have all these problems and there's 9 rooms out of order, I'm just gonna run it for a few hours, see if we get any good micron gauge readings, and we're gonna try to get this going, because we're gonna change the parts inside over there, and we're gonna recover this and redo this whole thing. Then we can do the 24-hour vacuum or overnight vacuum, at least 12 hours. I like to pull a really good vacuum, and that's gonna keep them safe long term. But right now, we just gotta wait it out, really. Let's give it a few hours, and then come back, you know, get out of dip switch number 5, start it back up, and let's pray that this compressor starts and they get cooling, and like that, we'll be all right. It's Saturday, and we lost a bunch of oil down there, and I bought an oil pump, like a little hand pump by Yellow Jacket, and I couldn't find the oil that it's needed for this unit. I actually did find it, but they're not open till Monday. So Monday we're gonna come back and put the oil in it and try to preserve this compressor. If not, you gotta change the compressor with the inverter board and that solenoid valve with the coil. And you know, that's a whole thing in itself. But anyways, turn this thing on, see if we get any readings. Now, see reading OL, and I gotta change my battery. It's a little hard to see it, but you can see the OL right there. Let's give this thing a chance. There's a lot of piping here. We got 9 rooms and 2. Oh no. Well, as far as this one, it's 12 2 HR boxes, like 2 branch boxes basically, and then 7 IDUs, 7 indoor units. So excuse me, I guess 7 units are actually out, and 12.95 LB. That's gotta be like the additional added refrigerant to this unit, which is gonna help me. And we'll see what happens. It's normally charged at, I think, 16.9 pounds. So 16 plus 12. Got a lot of refrigerant here, that's all I can tell you. So let's go hang out, take lunch, and we'll come back. It's been a little while, guys. We got just under 1300 microns, and it is coming down. I've been watching it, so it's slowly coming down. Another thing to keep in mind is that this unit has been exposed to moisture for how long? You know, they just realized this yesterday. Who knows when this happened, but it's been at least maybe, it's been over 24 hours open to the air, and it's hot and it's humid outside, and it is what it is. I really wish I had the right oil. I bought the pump, but I couldn't get the oil at least today, and they don't want to wait. They want this as soon as possible. I will wait till Monday till I get the oil, at least give some oil, because we lost so much here. Even though I cleaned it up, I wish, you know, we just added that oil so we can get them going at least properly. And let's just hope, you know, yeah, it's coming down. Let's just hope that we actually have a working compressor. Check it out electrically, but let's see if it's working mechanically. Pressure goes up, then it goes down. 13, 12. Now you see it's like up and down, but it's making its way down. I wonder if this gauge needs a cleaning. Some people have some bad reviews on this thing, but I also have 1 battery, life of battery left. Maybe I'll change the battery, we'll see. But it is what it is. It's coming down though. Stopping with the vacuum for now. It's on its way down. Still has a lot, might have possibility of some moisture still in here, because I really like to run these overnight, so I can't tell 100%, but we need this up and running ASAP. Anyways, I got the 410A tank upside down, so we're charging liquid. You always want to charge liquid with 410A. Let's zero this out. The regular charge, it comes pre-charged at 16.9 ounces, and then they added 16.9 pounds, excuse me, and they added, looks like is the trim charge or whatever, 12.95, so almost 30 pounds of refrigerant. Let's start with what we have. I already purged my hose so we don't have any air in the line, and while it's off, let's zero out my scale and let's start charging. Let's watch this rise. Let this take as much as it can. We're still in vacuum mode now, so let it fill up the pipes, and once this is done, we'll finish, it'll probably finish off with this tank here. I do have 2 LGMV tools. I don't know why, but I got a problem connected to my phone. It works for Christian's phone, my apprentice, and I also have the special LGMV tool where you can connect to a laptop. And ever since the first time, I've been having trouble signing in there. So usually everybody's calling for cooling. They always, nobody touches those thermostats. It is what it is. And never had a problem. Every time I change the compressor, just gotta wait. Let's give it a few minutes. I got this guy connected right here. What's strange is that I'm not getting any error codes at all, and it's not trying to start. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's being held on those pressure controls. I just turned on the power, so it's trying to reset again. But this thing don't start. Once again, failed to communicate with the LGMV module. This happens the last few times I try to connect to this. I am connected to the Wi-Fi. LGMV, it says connected without internet, not secure. I don't know what that's all about, what they're not secured, but what is going on? Wi-Fi on, and it doesn't like connect, man. Jeez. All right, so I'm connected. Also, my location is on, and it says turn off switch to mobile data. Let's turn that off. Let's see if that helps. I need to redo this whole thing, but come on, doesn't work. I tried this before though. It still is giving me a problem. I don't know why my phone doesn't work. Christian's phone works. Oh man, he's not here today. Yeah, when it starts loading up like this, it's probably not good. Time out again. Jeez. I did everything that they said here. I'm gonna turn it off. Turn off my Wi-Fi. Reset that. Turn on my Wi-Fi. Let's see what comes up. I can close all. LGMV, checking the quality of your internet connection. Connected without internet. Let's go to LGMV business app. Monitoring data next. Love to know if they're at least set to cooling, but that pressure sensor is definitely giving me some off readings. Change that. Oh boy, failed to communicate. Okay. Oh, look at that, 32 amps. This is the third time. Oh god, 31 amps. See, it's trying to start now. I went downstairs and all the rooms were not calling to cooling. Oh boy.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
26. And with those amps, the compressor went. Unfortunately, this compressor is bad. Unbelievable. Yep, so we weren't getting a call for cooling. That's why I didn't start. There was 5 rooms that I was able to get to. As they're vacant now, I was able to get in there. All the thermostats were off. Electrically, the compressor was good, as you can see in my last video, but mechanically, it has failed. And that's gonna be a wrap on this one. We got another failed compressor, guys. Oh boy.
2,000 years later.
Quick follow-up, my friends. We came back after the weekend. I picked up the oil. I got a new oil pump by Yellow Jacket. This thing is awesome. I even bought a tablet, and as you can see, I got the LGMV tool connected right now, and our compressor is running, our unit's running. We're just finishing up the charge. All right, I couldn't see what was in here, so what I did is I took the unit charge. Comes pre-charged for 16.9 pounds, and it looks like this is the trim charge. You add 12.95. We changed the compressor and the inverter board, and I'm just finishing up the charge. Oh man, this tablet is awesome. Can hardly see right here, but right now our compressor is running. Amps are going up. System is good. Oh man, that is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the solenoid valve or the oil from the manufacturer. I was able to do some information online, and one awesome follower, subscriber, he mentioned the type of oil, and luckily it's the same one that I picked up. That's just a beautiful thing. This tablet is a beautiful thing. All the information needed, we got all the information. So just a quick follow-up that We got the system back up and running on Monday. This happened over Friday, came back Saturday. Friday was the leak, Saturday was the repair, and unfortunately got locked rotor. We changed the compressor and inverter board. System started. It has oil in the compressor. We're just adding the refrigerant, and we're just gonna top off a little bit of oil in there. And unfortunately there's no sight glass or anything, so you can't really check oil, but maybe a little bit added would be a good thing. We're also watching like amps and stuff like that. Oh man, what a relief, what a relief. That's a beautiful thing. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have to change that solenoid valve, but for the fact this thing works, and I finally got this nice tablet and it, you know, it actually reads and connects. That is a beautiful thing. This is a tablet. Let's see which one I got. Picked this up from a store. I guess it's time to get a case for this, because I was like, man, if this thing don't work, what's the point of a case? And this is the tablet that I picked up, the Lenovo Tab M9. I picked it up at Best Buy for $140. If anyone is interested, I will leave a link for this below. Also, I will leave a link for all tools used in this video and a link below. But right now I got everything in cool mode right now. Indoor unit control. We got 8, you know, it says right now over there that it's only 7 air handlers, but when I connected the tool, you could actually see we got 8 indoor units. Anyways, they're all in cooling right now. Monitoring. How do I get in here? How do I get in here? Anyways, it's cooling. We're almost there. Gotta add, just to top it off, 12.25 pounds, so we're almost there. Got another tank hanging over there. Ooh, that suction line is nice and cold. You can see it, it's sweating. Ooh, that's a beautiful thing, man. It's like 80, 85 degrees out here. And I feel very proud.
Mandolators arrived! Look at the window. 12,000 BTUs of raw cooling power, huh? Yeah. Installed.
Everything's looking good here. I know it's hard to see there, but anyways, we're gonna wrap this video up from here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as we come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.